Hey, guys. Welcome back, beloved. So precious to see you. And so I'm glad you decided to join Riot, Language of the Unheard. Again, that's a statement from Martin Luther King. Basically, when people are unheard or feel like people are not listening, they tend to lash out. So we want to give you a positive way to look at things, a new perspective on some old things, and maybe we can just make some adjustments, man, inside out. That's what it's all about, genuinely. Okay, so the first thing we want to get into in chapter 2 is thoughts. Thoughts. Take a second. Think about your thoughts. What are the difference between think and thoughts? Thoughts kind of seem, past tense a little bit, right? Once you grab a thought and start to think about it, that's when it becomes present, if that makes sense. So to me, in my humble opinion, the goal of thoughts is ultimately having the ability to mentally interpret reality in a way that is conducive to your overall view of yourself, view of ourselves. What is your overall view of yourself? And a lot of that has to do with that inner conversation that kind of goes on, those little thoughts that conversation that we have with ourselves when things don't go our way, and it alters our emotions. It's not really the thing outside of us. It's the world that's going on inside of us. It's pretty interesting, you know? What do you say to yourself when no one is listening? Like, what's going on there? You don't have to answer any of these questions. These are just for you and your self-development and understanding of what it means to be you. What am I calling I in reference to self? It's an identity thing. And the reason why we're going to all this, because just like there's rungs on a ladder, a lot of times we want to get to the top and we just jump to the fifth rung and we skip 1, 2, 3, 4. And so we're going back to your overall view of yourself. This would alter basically how you think, and which will ultimately determine what type of thoughts you decide to capture and take. Not the ones that just constantly just shooting past your face and your ears and your stuff. You watch TV, you get a thought. You hear someone on the radio, you get a thought. These are influences that is causing thoughts. But sometimes we have a little inner record, a little thing going on around in our head many times. And that's called an inner conversation, which births a lot of what we think, feel, and act out, if that makes sense, okay? What is belief in that case? But a continual thought manifested in your reality. That makes sense? I'll say it again. What is belief but a continual thought manifested in your reality? Who's yours? Who's yours? Yes, yours. Okay? Yes. I'm a little silly. I love that. Okay, anyway, there's a scripture in the Bible. Go ahead and correct me. Okay. Call those things that be not as though they are. This is the basis of what I like to call, we'll go more into this later, fourth dimensional thinking versus five senses thinking, taste, touch, feel, things like that. We get caught up in the outside influences, the things that happen to us. And we get caught up in that versus fourth dimensional thinking, which represents that beginning of that scripture, call those things that be not as though they were or they are. It's not like you're lying. With fourth dimensional thinking, you can really see what's going on there is that you don't let anything into your vibration to change how you feel. Because once you feel different, remember TFA, thoughts, feeling, action. Once you feel a certain type of way, then you start to act in accordance to what you're looking at. But it's five sensal thinking versus fourth dimensional thinking, which calling those things that be not as though they are. I don't want to see that. I don't accept any of that stuff you're saying. I don't accept any of that thought process that you have. And this, again, is that overall view of yourself. How do you see yourself? This what causes a lot of our struggle, not being freed from other people's opinions and thoughts and actions and all these other things. We'll get more into that on allowing later on here in the chapter. But the mind is made up of conscious and subconscious, right? Although all of it is inside of you, or the body. We're talking about the subconscious, which is inside of the inside of you. We have the heart, and you have inside the heart. You have the lungs, the kidneys, then you have inside the lungs and the kidneys. We're talking about what's going on inside. That makes sense. So even though you have a mind, we're talking about what's going on in that thinking process inside the mind, that inner conversation that you tell and talk to yourself about, and change and alter little things that got you feeling a certain type of way. Who's in control of this whole thing? This whole thing going on, right? Who's the generator of decisions? We're not talking about who created the grass, the stars, the quasars, the little babies, the little maybes. We're talking about you in your everyday environment, your reality. You are doing it all by yourself. And a lot of times we don't want to take accountability for that. But again, that's your problem. We got to get it together. All right. So we have to ask ourselves, what influences my thinking? What influences my thinking? Is it the TV, the radio, like mentioned earlier? Is it my auntie and how I feel, she feels about me? So therefore I allow her to, huh? What are you doing? I really don't understand. And so we have to really figure out where we want to be in life. You want to be happy? You want to be sad? You want to be toxic? You want to be a fountain of pure love? This is all your decisions. And once you decide with that burning desire, that influence, it comes from with you. It comes from within you. So I guess you could say, in the beginning was the Word. This is another scripture. And the Word was God, and the Word was with God. In the beginning was the Word. I'm just thinking about it with you guys. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. But with God and the Word was God. Sorry. We're talking about literal words here, not necessarily the Bible. Okay, we're talking about literal words, the words we use in our effort to master oneself. You choose what you want to say. Words is like a double-edged sword. Words. You take the S off the end, put it on the front, you have sword. You can cut, you can heal. Now they say the word is a double-edged sword. All this time we've been thinking and talking about the Bible. But we're literally talking about the words you're using in your effort to master oneself. Mastering oneself. This is what it's all about. This brings the idea of nature versus nurture. A lot of times we like to say, hey, I can't help it. That's just my nature. That's just who I am. Hey, I'm not going to apologize for that. That's my nature. Not realizing that your nature is based on what you nurture. So if you filling yourself up with a bunch of stuff, what do you expect to come out? Yeah. So look at the news, a bunch of stuff. So you have to watch what you nurture. It has ability to affect your nature. Okay. How do you change the world? That's what we all want to do, right? Your world. How do we change the world? Okay, let me just tell you. Change your stinking thinking. All right, there you go. Michael Jackson put it like this. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Start dancing. I'm asking him to change his way. Yeah. No message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Here's something I want you to remember. Water seeks its own depth. Iron sharpeneth iron. Deep calleth unto deep. Change the world bit by understanding your relationship you have with your thoughts. Your thoughts. The world does not have to be ugly. I don't know about you, but Corona ain't did nothing to me. I got to stay inside. I got to come up with some things. I wrote some new songs. I did a bunch of stuff. And I understand Corona may have affected some people, but I'm telling you how no matter what's going on in the outside world, the influences, you decide how you interpret it. Therefore, that's your world now. And that's the world we talk about, making the world a better place. All right. You become almost a soul employer. You employ people's souls, so to speak. What do you need? I'm glad you asked. When you are fulfilling your burning desire, things happen for you. All right. And therefore it needs it don't just happen, but people are causing things to happen. So therefore they have to be in a place where they can fulfill your need. So therefore you are allowing people to be themselves by you being yourself, because somebody got to facilitate you being in your godness. You, you know what I'm saying? Or your goddessness. Hey, you know what I'm saying? It's all a matter of perception. Perception is the basis of reception. How you perceive is how you receive everything. So a lot of times when we're getting offended at stuff, I mean, change your stinking thinking. That's actions going on outside of you. That exist. Hmm? The new word created by our foundation is insist, meaning to live within. We're going to move on that later. So what we're getting at here is you can raise people's vibrations, all right, by keeping your vibration at a certain level. All right. We have high vibration, low vibration. Higher vibration, well, lower vibration things are like fear, doubt, worry, competition, unhealthy competition, and those lower vibrations. It's still on the spectrum. I guess they have a place somewhere, maybe to test you to see where you need to grow from. That's the purpose of dirt, right? So then we have higher vibrations, what is love and empathy and compassion and passion even. I like that word passion because it's contagious. Like if I smile, bam, made you smile, didn't it? Okay, so it's contagious. But look at the word, break it down. Passion, PASS, pass, who, I, where, on, passion. It's a giving thing, all right? So you begin to help society by raising your vibration. Rest in peace, Wayne Dyer. He's a great motivational speaker, I call him. He said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. All right. So follow the words of Michael Jackson here and really look at the man in the mirror and just focus on who you are. Who you are. I can't tell you who you are. All right. That's for you to define, but at least ask the question. And you are not your name. Please don't say whatever your name is. All right. I appreciate that. All right. Now we're going to go to the next section. I don't want to keep you long and talk your head off. I could do that if I didn't have notes. You notice I go over here like this every now and then. I'm reading my notes because if I didn't do that, we'd be all over the place for hours. But y'all can do that in your little sessions, hourly sessions that you can, pay for. It's really simple there. All right, let's go into the law of attraction. There's a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of thoughts out there. We're going to keep it really simple and just hit on some little points. All right, the law of attraction. First of all, you know what a law is. Something that's set in a principled format, something you follow. All right. But the law we're talking about is not some standardized version of something that somebody created to keep people in line. The law we're talking about is universe. Again, universe. I like that word because if you spell it, U-N-I, verse, huh? You and I doing what? Conversing, huh? Conversating. This is what we're doing. This is what the whole universe is about. We don't have a universe if nobody's there to perceive it. So that's all us. And how we perceive the world becomes what is called a world view. This is why the media and the news and all these people do it, everything they do to try to instill a lot of fear and doubt. Fear is nothing but an acronym standing for false evidence appearing real. And we want to avoid that. And we don't have to run from it or push it away. We just look at it as if it's something that's trying to get me to my next level. So law of attraction or magnetic thinking, is what I like to call it. You literally magnet to you what you're thinking, including fear. Remember, it's false evidence appearing real, but it still generates a feeling inside. And once thoughts happen, feelings happen, actions right behind it, right? So if I could explain the law of attraction in 3 words, it would be conceive, believe, and achieve. If I had to pick another 3 words, it would be thoughts are things. I actually like what Tesla said. If you want to know the laws of the universe, think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. And you'll hear me say it all the time. Yo, I like your vibe, man. Your vibe is all that. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you, operating at a very low frequency. I don't like it at all. Oh my goodness, what is the problem? Or they call frequency aura. I feel your aura. Yo, you got a sick aura, man, or a good aura, man. We were saying the words, but the terms are energy, vibration, and frequency. If we can understand those things and how our words and thoughts are and there's countless studies and scientific research to back up what I'm saying. The whole very fact that doctors in the medical field use something called the placebo effect, basically a sugar pill that they give some clients that have some kind of psychological connection to their healing, and they give them a placebo pill and they heal. And what's even more striking is when they found out that they was given a placebo pill, they what they call that went backwards. They retracted or whatever it is, and then they got back sick. It's not that you can't heal yourself. You have to just believe. That's where that conceive, believe, and achieve come from. All right. So that's just a little bit on the law of attraction. You put out, and there's so much more I can get into, but you put out in the world what you want to receive and see back. So get in the habit of only accepting what you want to see. And this goes as close as your kids. This goes as close as your mate, your parent, parental overreaching. If there anything's going on that irritates you, frustrates you, and whoa, I'm talking to myself right now. Okay, anything that frustrates you, you really have to, Mr. Sanders, okay, take it in and look at it like something you're trying to go through. That's how you talk to yourself. If you ever wonder, you just look to the side. Just messing. But you really have to take that on. And it's an everyday thing. Don't let people trap you in like, yeah, we know what you're going to do. Yeah, we know what you. Who cares, literally, what anybody has to say about you? Once you understand who you are, that is the only thing that matters. Can we do a cabbage patch on that? Can we do a cabbage patch? I'm telling my age. Who cares? I don't care what you think. That don't mean I don't care about you. That just means I care more about how I see me. Like Les Brown said, if you don't know who you are, people will voluntarily tell you who they think you are. And we ain't about that business. We're about understanding who we are. This is a new perspective, a new way of doing things, which brings me to the law of allowing. All right. Now, again, this is a course, but we also have a book called Riot, Language of the Unheard. All of my students will get a copy of this book. We'll just send you email. We go ahead and send that to you. And everything we're going through is written out in chapters in this book. All right. So I'm not just winging this stuff. We really thought through this, and we want to help people have a more productive thought life. And these little principles can be put in place. These little tidbits we're dropping here, these little nuggets, we can line them all up and then lead our trail through our navigating through the neurons of our brain. And we can start getting over our belief bias and our cognitive dissonance and our split brain personality. We got a lot of things going on, which causes a lot of the ailments, the dis-eases. Okay. So in the law of allowing, it's a process of loving what is. Okay. In my humble opinion, the first thing to remember is that sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but words will never hurt me. You're in control of your experience 100% of the time. There is a big difference between allowing things to be as they are and people who operate as if they feel they're tolerating people for who they are, tolerating them for what they do. It's a difference. Allowing people versus tolerate. Tolerate, you're still experiencing negative feelings, negative thoughts. I'm being sick. I ain't gonna take but so much more. Hey, do it again. Do it again. Some all that. Okay. Versus, let's see. They may come at you see what? You always blah. It's like you stay in a state of bliss. Are you trying to be like a little born Buddha or a monk? And who cares? I don't have to give you any energy if it's not what I need for my growth and development, being stable, a peace, calm, loving individual. Okay. So in the law of allowing, also there's we got to know the difference between tolerating people and really accepting people for who they are. Okay. It's all about you at the end of the day. right? See, I'm looking at my notes. I have to stay focused. I was about to go somewhere. But it's all about you. Being an allower an allower does not mean you can't uplift or assist people. A lot of people say, well, if I allow everything, I got to stick my head in the sand and just let everything happen. No, that's not what they're saying. They're saying you be so in tune with your vibration that it raises to a place where anywhere you go, you radiate, you send forth bright light and love to everything, literally. That's what it means. So you, by inadvertently, by being in control and being freed from negative emotions, people's actions may seem to cause you. You allow people to experience true upliftment, not your words of encouragement. That stuff is called self-esteem. That's why they put the word self in the front of esteem, because you have to esteem yourself. Okay. Man, listen, guys, it's been a pleasure as always. And I hope you really are enjoying these. Please leave comments. We're going to, update videos as we go. But right now, I just want to give us something to start with. Give us some breadcrumbs so we can start leading our way back home to ourselves. Because that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. So be encouraged. Please listen to the materials. We have Clyde Bristol, The Magic of Believing. That whole book. It breaks down that whole science for you. You have to listen to me. You listen to the lecture and then listen to the homework. Give me 3 paragraphs. If you want to do 50, it's up to you. Okay. It's all about expressing yourself. We talked about that in chapter 1. So, give me 3 paragraphs in the homework. And you guys are the seed sowers, and we appreciate you and all that you do. And remember, always be you. I love you guys. You have a great one.